What's up, guys? This is not a video I was expecting to do again. I know the one yesterday was expected, but Melissa put a video out, and I was just as shocked as you guys were when I saw it. I was like, is she not coming back to Oklahoma? At this point, there really wasn't a whole lot of communication between me and her, so I was kind of like, I guess she's out. I don't know. I'm watching the video, and I'm just like, and then at the very end, she said she still wanted to come up, but I looked through all the comments on there. I looked through, watched her video and all this type of stuff. I've gotten messages from people. I've been blown up. So I figured I'd just do this video real quick. I have done a lot of work on the other side of the house, the bathroom. That's a video coming out tomorrow, and so you guys will get to see that. But so don't think these are my normal videos. I just feel like I need to address this because I didn't see this coming. So I wrote some notes to keep this as simple as possible and just get it out there. So pretty much, I met Melissa 3 years ago. My ex and I were just dating at the time. We broke up, and during that time frame that I was broken up with my ex, I met Melissa. She was dating someone else. We had the same interest at tiny house. We hung out one time. We talked about tiny houses. That was it. 3 years later, she posted on Facebook, I'm going through a divorce. She posted about tiny house, and I was like, hey, if you're still into that, I don't know if you know this, I have a YouTube channel. I'm building a tiny house. People keep telling me I need help. Would you like to come up here? She had a job, and I said, hey, the way you're talking, that job's really not working out how you'd like. I can compensate you. I can't give you a ton of money, but I can give you part of what I make on YouTube, because that's how I make a full-time living, is on YouTube. When you watch the ads on my videos, that's how I make money. Most of you guys know that. If you didn't, it's how I make a living. But I basically took some of that money that I would put into the house, and I paid her to come up here. She was able to quit her job. She got to drive from Dallas up here, and I don't think I should get free labor or anything of that nature. So I compensated her. We came up with an agreement on how much money, and so we did that. And we told you guys from the get-go that we never dated. She is not here, so we can date. Is she a good-looking girl? Does she have a lot of the same interests, stuff like that? Yes. Everyone on here said, you better marry the woman. So yes, there was some thoughts of like, hey, maybe this might work, and I think that might have gone both ways, but pretty early on, we both figured out, like, yeah, I don't think that's where it's going. Let's not ruin the friendship. Let's just be friends and do this and keep it how it was. So was there ever a thought of it? Yeah, probably for a short amount of time, but we both realized, I think, I can't speak for her, but this is what I'm just assuming, we both realized, like, no, let's just keep it friends. Very easy. We never, messed around, nothing like that. It's just that. There's never a relationship. But you guys on YouTube really pushed and said, we're not dumb, there's a relationship, blah, blah, blah. We were very honest. You guys took it how you wanted. I can't change that. And then, again, I do pay her to be here. I pay her weekly to be here, and we pretty much came with the agreement of, hey, if you can come up 4, maybe 5 days a week, you can take like the weekends off or whatever. We didn't have a set schedule, but that I was like, I am not your boss, but I'm pretty chilled out. If you're tired, you need to take a break, take a break. If you're hungry, you can eat. If you didn't sleep last night very good, you can take a nap. You got dental stuff. If you need to take some time off, you can go do that. I was very relaxed with it. She's very thankful for that. Not a big deal. We were both on the same page. I think the only thing that really got us was the lack of communication. Pretty much every time she would leave, I honestly never knew when she was coming back. She would say, like, hey, say if it was Friday, she'd be like, hey, I'm leaving today. I'll be back on Monday. Well, then Monday would roll around, and I wouldn't hear from her. And then normally she would be gone for about a week, and I'd text her and be like, hey, I'm not going to build. I'm waiting for you to come back so I can show you how to build. That's the whole point of you coming up, is to learn how to build, and I teach you so you can build your own stuff later. And I think that's a great agreement. I teach her, I get my help, and she gets compensated for it, so she's not losing out on money to pay her bills. And it was just the lack of communication of, I waited and waited for her to come back. And as you guys know, sometimes I didn't post for like a week straight. I went live, but I didn't post. And honestly, I was waiting for her to come back so we can build. And I got pretty bashed in my comments about, you never work, you're lazy, you only do stuff if she's here, she's the hardworking one, you don't do anything. She is hardworking, and you guys saw that. She come out here and sweat and rough it. but at the same time, I also was waiting for her to come back to do these videos, and it kind of put me behind. Some days I was, 5-6 days behind on building because I was waiting for her to come back. So the lack of communication of like, hey, when are you coming back? It just wasn't there, and kind of put me in a weird spot, which kind of made me look a little bad as far as, not building. And so I kind of got bashed with that, which, whatever, I don't care, to be completely honest. But I'm just transparent, and I'm trying to let you guys know that it wasn't I was lazy. I was just honestly waiting for her to come up. I just didn't know when she was coming up. And so another thing, she definitely has that gypsy soul, which is awesome. She's kind of like on the move, go, do this. I kind of live that lifestyle as well, somewhat. And so the downside of that is I don't think she really knows what she wants out of life. It's not a bad thing. It just kind of isn't really working with what's going on here, to be completely honest. So the whole thing of like the lack of communication and stuff, it kind of just like put me in a weird spot. And then it was my idea for her to get a shed, and Jared had mentioned to me a while back, hey, if you want to get a shed up there for some of your storage, I'll help cover part of it. That way he has a place to stay, and we can kind of convert it into a little man cave, extra house. So when Jared comes up, he has a place to stay. And so I was like, all right, cool, I already had that in my mind. We talked about this a while back. And then when Melissa came up, it kind of popped in my head. It was one of the times that she went back to Dallas, and I was here thinking, and I was like, well, if she wants to have her own space, again, we're not dating. She likes her own space. I like my own space. Her dog is more of a city dog, I guess you could say. It's more of an inside dog. I let my dogs roam, play in the mud, water, all that stuff. Hers is more of, she lets Gypsy go down to the river, but when she's here, a lot of times she's like in the house or whatever. She's not really like out and about roaming. And so there's nothing wrong with that. It's like kids. You can raise them any way you want. She's just more city, I'm more country. And so I was like, well, I don't want to be stuck in here with all my stuff. I was like, what if she gets her own shed and she can kind of convert it her own and start a channel and kind of have her own thing going on. And as she's learning building here, she could apply that to her shed. I was like, it's a win-win. She's clearly got the love from you guys. Why not start a channel? And so, I brought that up to her. She was kind of iffy on it at first. She's like, I don't know about a channel. And she's like, I don't know, And I was like, the people love you. It's very clear. I think it'd be cool. So she did it, and it blew up. Literally, overnight, almost, her channel blew up. She has like 12,000 subscribers, getting up to 50,000 views. That doesn't happen. So very, very happy for her. I told her that would probably happen. She got real excited about it. Of course, anyone would. And I said, look, you're going to start getting monetized very quickly. You're going to turn this into a full-time job. That way, it's almost insurance. If you ever decide you want to up and leave, this isn't for you, you have a channel and you can make money. You don't have to go back to a normal job. She liked the sound of that. Anyone would. So she was like, all right, cool. So we talked about the shed house. Again, that was my idea. I brought it up so she can have her own space. And I said, if you do rent to own, and you decide you want to leave, I will take over the rent-to-own payments so you don't owe anything on it. You just kind of lose what you put into it, but that's kind of the investment of building your channel off of it. And then I said, or you could take it with you. It's just going to cost money to take it. You're not obligated to leave it here. It's yours. If you're paying on it, you want to continue paying on it, you could take it with you. That's an option. I said, also, there is a chance that I may have to leave living here if something were to happen to my parents. They got sick. They needed help being taken care of. I said, that's not really the plan, but if it happens, there is a chance that I could potentially leave this place. Again, what if I hit the lottery and I want to go buy 1,000 acres somewhere? Yeah, I'd probably rather live on 1,000 acres somewhere than 5 acres on a hill. Let's be realistic, anybody would. So I just let her know there is a chance that you may have to leave it or take it. And she was very aware of that, and she was cool with it. And then she decided one day, she's like, actually, I don't want to buy a shed. After we looked at them and stuff, and then she said, actually, I'd like to build it. That's more of my goal, is I want to build something. I said, okay, cool, that's fine. We can build it. It'll be cheaper. I said, we just can't take the time away from building this as far as me helping, but when I'm not doing this, I can help you with that. We made an agreement. It's totally cool. And then I could tell she really wasn't into it. And one day we sat here pretty much in the same spot, and I said, what's your goal? What's like your short-term goal, your long-term goal? Where would you like to see your channel? Where would you like to see your life? And basically it boiled down to she doesn't want to shed the house. She doesn't want a tiny house. She wants a van so she can travel. And I said, all right, now as far as budget, that's going to cost a little bit more. I said, you're actually buying a vehicle. You have to spend a decent amount of money to get one with a good engine to drive. You're going to spend at least what you're going to spend into a shed to get a van, or a bus or whatever the case may be, and, that type of thing. And she started looking at vans and stuff here for a little bit, but a lot of them just didn't work out. She's literally spent about an hour looking, and we were kind of looking at them. I was like, I don't know, that one's kind of old, a lot of miles, price range is a little too high, like that type of thing. And then this past Thursday, we worked, we did all stuff, we put windows in, all that, as you guys saw, and around 5 o'clock, I was just like, all right, I need to edit the video, I need to put it out. I said, you can take a shower, whatever you want to do, just relax. She said, well, I need to put a video out. If I shower, I don't want to shower before we go work over there. And I said, well, what are we going to work on? She said, I don't know, clear, build something. And I said, well, we can't really do that because I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if you want a van. I don't know if you still want the shed house, if you want to build your own. I said, we have the lumber to build the shed house, but if you're looking more towards a van, I don't want to start building because then it's a waste of our time and money and resources. That lumber's pretty scarce around here. And so she's like, okay, well, I'm kind of confused on what I'm going to do now. And that was like the last of that conversation. So I'm in my truck editing. She came back. She said, hey, I can get my appointment for my dental stuff tomorrow, which is Friday, be back Saturday. And I was like, all right, cool. And so she left. I went live on Friday with the Sawyers. She jumped in the live chat. She asked what we were doing on Saturday. I said, not sure yet. So I figured she'd come back on Saturday. Well, then I didn't hear from her on Saturday. I didn't hear from her on Sunday. And then Monday rolled around. I didn't hear from her till about 8 o'clock at night. And she said, hey, I have a dentist appointment on Tuesday. I'll be back on Wednesday. So in my head, I'm like, another week that went by. I wish you would have told me on Friday after your dentist appointment that they told you that you were going to be back on Tuesday, that you weren't going to be here for the next few days, because I waited again. I waited several days for her to come back so I could start working. And actually, I started working a little bit on my own in the bathroom. That's what I've been working on this week. But I was waiting for her to come back to really get it going. And it was just that lack of communication. And then I'm at the Sawyer's house last night because we went and did some personal stuff for our personal lives. And her video came out, and I was like, I don't really know where this is going. I thought she wasn't coming back. I thought she was going to tell everyone that she wasn't coming back. That's how the video kind of sounded. She wasn't doing shed house. She was going to do a van. I was like, I didn't even know you were going to do the van. Like, that's what you agreed on, or that's what you finalized your thoughts on. I had no idea at this point. The only communication I had for almost like the last few days was, hey, I'm not coming back till Wednesday type thing, after a couple days of not hearing from her. And so it was a total shock to me as well. So watching that video with the Sawyers, we all kind of looked at each other like we had no idea what was going on. Afterwards, I was just kind of like blown away. They asked me if I knew about any of that. I didn't. Really and truly, we had mentioned, we had talked to each other a little bit about possibly doing a van, possibly doing a shed to house, possibly building. At that point when she left, I had no idea where her head was. So I kind of texted her and I was like, hey, I kind of wish you would have talked to me. I'm actually getting bashed now about, basically I used you and now you left me, or you're getting bashed saying that you used me to build your channel and you left, all this stuff. And I was like, I wish you would have told me. We could have like talked about it and kind of done your video in a different way. I think it's cool that she wants a van, but I think it should have been, I guess, presented in a different way. The whole video was pretty much, I had no idea that she was coming back. I thought she wasn't coming back. I thought she'd do a van. She clearly said she talked to her friends about it and that she wants to go travel. And it was almost like she wanted to come up here, build the van, and then leave. And that kind of was just kind of a little off on my end. So I text her, kind of trying to figure it out. So you know, she said she didn't mean it for it to come off that way, but that's kind of the way it came off. So I went through her video and I read comments and all my messages I've been getting blowing up about it. So I figured I would just do all this and kind of go over it. She didn't use me to build a channel. I asked her if she wanted to start a channel. I told her she would do very well. She could turn it into a full-time job and make a living from it, which everybody wants to do when they get on YouTube. That's living the dream. You don't want to work the normal 9 to 5. So there's no way that was the wrong thing. It's a smart thing. I try to tell everybody to start a channel. You guys know that. I tell everyone to live out their dreams. You guys know that. I preach that more than anything. Go live your dreams. And so for her to start a channel and to want to get a van and go, I want her to live her dreams. So I don't bash her for that. I don't think anything differently of her. I just wish it was all talked about it more. I wish the communication was there more. I wish it was presented better in the video so people didn't think negatively of her or I. But no, she didn't use me to build her channel. No, I didn't use her for free labor. She got compensated. I'm the one that told her to start a channel. As far as the shed house goes, it was never, no one was going to get ripped off either way. She could take it. If she put money into it, she can leave it here. I could take over payments. Again, Jared had offered to help me buy a shed in the first place, so I was going to get a shed here anyways before Melissa even came along. Jared actually called me today. He had no idea Melissa even put a video out, and I'm going to try to go down there and take care of some business. But he said, hey, are you still trying to do a shed up there? If you are, I'm willing to help you still because you have a lot of stuff here that you need to bring back. And I know that, and I need a place to put it. So he said, if money's the issue, I could still help you get a shed. And I said, and then he said, but unless Melissa's getting her shed, then you don't need it if that's the case. And I said, well, you might want to go watch your channel and watch your video. So again, I was going to get a shed anyway, so no one was ripping anyone off. No one used anyone. I got the help I needed building. She got compensated with money, and she got a channel that started. We both are fine. As far as friends, are we still friends? Of course. I think as of right now, I want to kind of take a break of her coming up, and it'll give her time to really decide what she wants to do. Maybe it'll give her time to go look for vans, because if she's up here and she needs to go look at vans, I can't really go with her because then it takes me away from this. So maybe her friends that she talked to or her parents and all that, they can go help her find the van that she's looking for, and then it'll give her time to sit there and think and come up with stuff. You know, she drew up this big vision board, all her pros and cons. I think the best thing for her is to figure out what she wants, because at this point I honestly don't think she knows what she wants, and I really want her to think about it and figure it out before she jumps into it. I don't want her to make a mistake. So, are we still friends? Of course. She can still come up here, all that. If she wants to go on her trip, and this can be a halfway point so she can rest, she's more than welcome here. She can come hang out at the river. She can come hang out. At this point, I think I'm better off using the money that I was compensating her with to put into the house rather than, having her come up. That way she could spend more of her time thinking about what she wants to do. I could spend that money on the house here, and then the big thing is I don't want to be waiting around for help since the communication wasn't there. This way I can kind of get the Sawyers and some other people have asked if I need help to let them know. So I can still get the help from people. It just kind of frees up some money for me to put into the house, which is really and truly what I need to do. I just did not want her to feel like she was free labor or I was using her for free labor, so I wanted to compensate her and make it worth her time. And again, I wanted her to have her own room. That was the whole point of her building something of her own. Again, it gives a place for her to leave her belongings, a place for her dog, for her to feel more secure and independent on her own rather than being like under my foot in here. So that was the whole point of that. It was never like, hey, you go live on the other side of the street, I don't want anything to do with you. I was trying to make her a little more comfortable up here. Since we are just friends, it's not a relationship like you guys thought. I wanted her to feel comfortable, and I wanted her to have her own space. So that's the reason why I asked her to do a shed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, this isn't my normal video. I'm be putting my video out tomorrow. The bathroom build that I've been doing, I kind of just jumped in on my own and did it. I am going to be going down to Texas and taking care of some stuff, and I'll be back, and I'm going to be busting my butt on here. Now I'm going to have a little extra money that I can put into the house. I'll be back to normal. The Sawyers have offered over and over to help, so they'll be coming out. I'll be going out there helping them. It's a very good trade between us. Same thing with like the sawmill. I purchased a sawmill. They had all the cedars. We mill them up together. They use stuff for their project. I use stuff for my projects. It works out. So I am still moving forward. I'm very excited. I am extremely excited for Melisa. Her channel is doing great. I still want you guys to follow her. I still want you guys to support her. It's just she won't be here for the time being. She'll be doing her own thing. She'll be living out her dreams. So keep encouraging her. Keep showing her the support. This is not a choose and pick what side you want to be on. That kind of happened with my ex. I don't want that. That is not what this is. I don't hate Melisa in any aspect at all. It was just a lack of communication. I think she just needs to figure out what she wants to do with her life, and I just need to move forward, building, get this done before winter, and that's pretty much it. I just on a tight budget and a tight time frame, and I need to knock it out. And unfortunately, I just can't have anything hold me back right now at all. Even a few days here and there adds up a lot. And so, unfortunately, it's just the way it is. But we're still friends. We still care for each other. We're still help each other in the future. She's still welcome here. I'm sure when I go down to Dallas, we'll visit, stuff like that. So it's not bad. It's just she won't be around as often anymore. And so tomorrow, I'll be back to my normal videos. You'll be seeing a lot of the bathroom build. I'm excited to show you guys that. That's something I've been wanting to work on for a while. And then we're going to be doing a bunch of milling up at Sawyer's. Got a lot of stuff going on there. So, again, not my normal video, but I figured I needed to address these issues because I don't want you guys bashing Melisa. And you can bash me all you want. I don't care. But at least know what you're talking about. So, figured I'd do this video. So, hope you guys have an awesome day. And if there's anything out of all this that you got, go live your dreams. And even if you have to go live the dream by yourself or do whatever, don't be scared to live out your dreams, and don't do what someone else wants you to do. Live your dream, do what you want to do. And I think that's what Melisa's channel and my channel is hopefully going to teach you guys. So have an awesome day. See y'all guys later. Are you excited to see the bathroom? Because I'm excited to show you. See ya.